Hello everybody, welcome to today's live stream, a live Canva tutorial. I am really excited to have you all here today, able to join in. And I just want to say a very happy sunny Sunday to each of you. I don't know what the weather is like where you guys are, but here it is a beautiful day. It is very warm outside, sunny, and it feels really good. And I'm energized to be able to share this this time with you. So thank you each and every one of you who are already tuned in, who are already waiting. And thank you to everybody who is coming into the replay after. Thanks for taking the time to watch this after the fact. I really appreciate you being able to do that. And this is great. Today is going to be all about showing you how to create a really good thumbnail. So I actually have some videos coming soon on Canva tutorials. I'm working on a video that's going to show a lot of the features that you can use with the Canva, with a Canva account and the Pro account specifically. And then I'm going to have a video that is going to be done in my new kind of, it's weird, it's kind of like my new old format. It's the format I originally made my content in, and I had a lot of people telling me over the last few months how much they missed that. And when I looked at my data and my analytics and my statistics, I noticed there was a major decline over the last kind of 6 or 8 months in terms of my viewership, my engagement, my comments, my views, all of that. Everything was kind of going downhill. So it's funny, I actually am going to be doing also a lot of talking coming up soon about a lot more about titles and thumbnails, because this is what leads you into getting that watch time that you need for your channel to really grow. The watch time is your #1 metric, right? So that's why we're spending a lot of time talking about the thumbnails and the titles. And it's something that a lot of small YouTubers overlook. They don't take that time to really create something that is visually, super appealing to people. And maybe they think that like I was lazy for quite a while with my thumbnails and titles. So as I look back, I realize and recognize completely it's my own fault that my content has been stalling for the last while. And that's why I've rededicated myself and I've gone back to my original format, but it's way better. My editing is vastly improved. My content is vastly improved. And I'm excited because I have some really, really good videos coming over the next few months. I've got tons of stuff already planned out ahead. I'm filming week by week. I have a bunch of videos ready to go. I wish I could release one every day, but I I don't have that kind of time, unfortunately. But I just want to welcome some people into the stream today. I want to just take a moment and welcome in some people who were waiting here before. Jeff Dragon, I don't know if you're still here, Jeff, but if you are, welcome, my friend. Alex, welcome, my friend. Great to see you. Andre, you were waiting, I think, for a while, so great to see you as well, my friend. And Lauren, as usual, here with your words of wisdom and your really fun humor and everything. I really appreciate having you in the live. It's always great to see you. CJ, great to see you, the Ball Gamer. CJ's a good pal of mine as well. Really glad you're here, CJ. And CJ, I think today's live stream is really going to be a benefit for you, because I know that I kind of made some channel art and thumbnails for you before, but you didn't really get to see the process. And today is going to be awesome for you because I'm hoping this is going to give you some really good insights into how you can really create something that is visually really appealing. Because I know you've struggled with some of that aspect and design and everything for your channel. So I'm hoping this is going to be a real game changer for you today, CJ. And Tyler, my good pal Tyler from Teach Me Golding, great to see you, my friend. Always happy to see you, Tyler. And I know that we give each other a lot of food for thought, and that's always awesome. For me, Tyler's one of my good YouTube pals, and we talk all the time about stuff going on with YouTube, and we help each other with our content. It's great to have someone like that. So, Tyler, thank you so much, my friend. Spunky, welcome, my friend. Great to see you. I'm doing good. How are you, my friend? It's a beautiful day here. It is amazing weather outside. It's just beautiful, and it's the perfect day to do an awesome live Canva tutorial. I'm really excited about being able to kind of dive in and show you guys. And some of my thumbnails that I have coming up are I think just like I've taken a lot of my stuff, my content now, and my thumbnails and my titles. I'm reworking everything. I'm really taking it to next level, and so I'm excited because kind of what I'm going to show you today. Anyone can really apply these things to their channel. Now, what I'd say with your thumbnail is you got to make it your own brand, right? Like you have to really figure out what font suits you. Like, what I would suggest is expressing your personality in your thumbnails. And by that, I mean, a font that, and a design, a color, a scheme that you feel really expresses your brand and your channel and your personality. I had to spend many, many, many hours working on my thumbnail style that I have. And so for you guys who maybe haven't seen, you can check out my channel. I can show you as well live here throughout the course of the tutorial. But what I'm going to say is, as I show you these things today, really think about how you can apply those things to your own style of thumbnail. Like, you don't have to do exactly the thumbnail I'm going to show you. It's going to be a fairly generic topic, but you can apply any of this to any niche that you're doing and create amazing looking thumbnails. So I'm excited about that. I'm really looking forward. We were going to do it last week, and then we had a few live channel reviews last week. We got into such a good discussion about thumbnails and titles and a lot of stuff there, and then there just wasn't time. It was the hour-and-a-half mark, and we didn't have enough time. So we're going to definitely dive into the tutorial today. I just want to talk a little bit first and welcome people in, and then we're going to dive into the tutorial, and I really hope that it's a game changer for a lot of you. BLT Gamers, welcome, my friend. I'm super happy to see you here. Thank you for the comment too. BLT saying awesome thumbnail, and I really appreciate that. It's funny because I had to kind of change quickly and come up with something. All of my other live stream had a kind of a themed thumbnail. And I wanted to keep that going, but when I went to make it a Canva the other day, Canva wasn't working, and it was kind of down for a couple of hours, and so I had to make a new thumbnail, and I just kind of put that one together. It didn't take me too long because, and this is a tip for you guys too. Like, it may look like some of this stuff is a little complicated, but once you've made a few thumbnails this way, like, you'll be able to take your thumbnails in so many new directions, and you'll be able to take your content in new directions. It will really help you level up your abilities and skills. And I find what a lot of people do is, Canva is a fairly popular tool for making thumbnails, but most people just do the most basic thing with their thumbnail in Canva, and then that's it. They don't take it to next level at all. And that's what my original thumbnails were. For those of you who've been around long enough to have known me, when I started my channel, it was The People's Bookkeeper. And you won't find any of those old thumbnails anywhere, although I can show you them as we go into Canva today. I can show you because I still have a lot of them in Canva. But I used to make like almost kind of a think media style of thumbnail. And you'll see it. It would have like the text block in the background with words on the top. And that works great for them because Think Media is such a huge machine itself. Sean Cannell started that like 11 or 12 years ago. And back then, those kinds of thumbnails were like the best of the best. People didn't really have anything better than that. And they've stuck with that over the years because that's their brand. And they, quite frankly, they don't really need to create thumbnails that are better than that because they're such a big channel. But for the rest of us, No, we need to really up our game with thumbnails. And now there's so many options and features with so many different, a lot of people do amazing thumbnails with Adobe Photoshop, right? And but for me, I love Canva. I really find tremendous value in it and helping me make amazing thumbnails. So that's what I really want to dive into. And again, I'm going to have a couple of videos coming very soon on Canva that are going to go even more into this. So if there's things you don't understand today, that's okay. You can rewatch, and then you can also look for the videos that are going to be coming over the next few months as well. And then reach out to me on the side too. Email me anytime. And if you need help with something or an opinion, if you want me to kind of look at it and tell you what I think could look better, let me know, because I actually go back and rework my own thumbnails quite consistently too, because I'm like, oh, I can make that better now that I know that I can make that better. So it should always be this constant journey that we're on, right, where we're learning. Alexia, welcome, my friend. Super to see you. It's great to have you here. Alexia always brings lots of fun and laughs, and so I'm really glad to see you here. Sio Harish, great to see you, my friend. Harish is from India. Welcome, my friend. It's awesome to have people from other countries here too. I love the fact that we can have a reach across the whole world. It's pretty amazing. Jeff, you're still here. Great. That's awesome, my friend. Really appreciate that. And I see you there, Harish. John, welcome, my friend. It's awesome to see you again this week, my friend. And NBL, my friend, no brainer. Super to see you, my friend. MBL saying he makes his thumbnails in Blender. Yeah, and Blender is an excellent program too. It's free, and he's right. You can do 2D and 3D. Blender is super cool. I haven't used it for a long time. I did many years ago use it for different things, and Blender is great if you're looking for a free way to make awesome thumbnails too. If I remember correctly, MBL, Blender has a bit of a learning curve, but once you kind of get it down, it's like any software. Once you get it down, your processes become a lot easier. So that kind of welcomes in everyone who's here. If you are coming in after the fact and watching this live stream after, welcome. Thanks again for taking the time. I really do appreciate that. So what are you guys, what are you up to? What are the struggles and challenges you're facing with your thumbnails, your titles? Because these two things, like, I've made some content on that's coming very soon. In the next week or two, I have a video dedicated to that. And I'm talking a lot about that right now because myself, I kind of had this epiphany of, like, why has my content been stalling? Why has my growth stalled over the last 3-4 months? I've had virtually no growth. I mean, it's been so slow. And it was like I had to really do a lot of kind of inner reflection on what I had produced. And I looked at my content, and honestly, like, I was like, man, like, I haven't been making good content. I haven't been making stuff that people want to see. A lot of my videos were super long. There was no editing in them, really. I just kind of filmed them and then put them out. And, that's okay for like a podcast style episode. I think once in a while, like if I did one of those every 3 or 4 months, I think people would be like, oh, hey, cool, something different. But video after video after video where I didn't put any effort into it, and I didn't put any effort into my titles. I did no keyword research. I did no tag research. I did like nothing, basically. I just was super lazy about it. And so all I was getting was views from my current subscriber base and no new people really finding any of those videos. I mean, honestly, I don't think I had any new comments from people on any of those videos. I did about a dozen of them. I had no comments from anyone who was new finding me. Whereas my video this past week on the YouTube Shorts update, I actually had a number of comments from brand new people who were finding me. Why? Because I did proper keyword research. I did proper title and tags. And I made the content really good and engaging. And I'd love to know your thoughts as well about the editing. Each video that you're going to see coming is actually getting better and better and better. So what you see next week I think will be better, and the week after better, and so on. Like over the next months and coming months and everything, you're just going to see me constantly upping my game and improving, because I'm really putting in that effort. I really do want to grow this channel and get back on track with everything. So I'm working on revamping a lot of my old content, the titles, the tags, the descriptions, all of it. And I've already done probably about 10 or 15 videos. I have about 75 more to go, but I've already done about 10 or 15 of them, and I've actually already seen an uptick on all those videos that I'm doing. So it's making a big difference. So for you as a content creator, that's why we're talking so much about this stuff, because it is super important and it's going to help you grow your channel. Alexia is saying, nowadays everybody wants to copy Mr. Beast, but nobody is like him. And that's true, super true, Alexia. Like, if you're looking for a person that's kind of sets the standard on YouTube, like, I would put Mr. Beast in the #1 spot. I think that, there are other amazing content creators too. Like, there are some content creators that are just so good at what they do. And it's no wonder that they've been able to grow channels with millions of subscribers and gain a huge following and a loyal following. But Mr. Beast really just sets that bar so beautifully. And if you want, this is why I've been sharing in videos I have coming, more videos with him, using him as an example, because if you want to look and study how to create really amazing content, you just need to look at what Mr. Beast does and how he pulls in all of these different elements to make every single video of his a viral hit. He hasn't had a dud in years, and there's a reason for that. And it's not just on his main channel. He's got multiple other channels. Every single video is a viral hit, a viral hit, a viral hit. Like, he's nailed the formula, and he basically is like the king of YouTube. I think he's going to definitely pass PewDiePie one day. Yeah, CJ says, Tim, you're losing hair. Yeah, that's been happening to me for a while, CJ. Join the bald club. Yeah, I'll keep what I've got for as long as I can, my friend. Spunky saying, Tim's how-to editing with a lot of cuts inspired me. Yeah, thank you, Spunky. I really appreciate that, because that's how I originally filmed my content. Was always, not the first half dozen videos. The first half dozen videos I made, honestly, are terrible. They're so cringy when I look at them now. I thought they were the best in the world at the time, but I always kind of had that chopping around, right? And I know I had a few other content creators that were very small channels that watched me, that I went to their channels and they started doing that after they'd seen me do it. And it's kind of I don't see a lot of people who do that style, but for me it worked really well. And I always had a lot of good feedback from people that they loved that high energy, that fast pace, that quick cuts. And it works great, especially for me, because sometimes when I'm talking like that, I breathe and I say something. And then what I'm doing now is I'm really cutting in close and emphasizing that as a close-up with a sound effect. And that makes more of an emphasis on the point that I'm sharing. So again, I'm getting better at my editing, better at what I'm producing. And I'm honestly so proud of the videos that I made. I made 6 last week. And now I'm just doing 1 per week, so I can really put a ton of effort. And the one I made this week, I put a ton of time and effort into, but a lot more than I had been in previous months. But the 6 that I made last week still have a ton of effort into them. So they're not just throwaway videos. They're really good videos. And I'm super, super proud of what I'm making and producing now, because now I'm actually making content that's going to help other content creators again. So it feels really good. And Spunky's saying, don't give up. You're trying new things, and that's how you learn. And you're saying a lot. You learned a lot from your mistakes. And thank you again, Spunky. That means a ton to me, my friend. And I did, and I made lots of mistakes along the way. I've tried testing lots of different things, seeing what works. I've tried this super long format. I've tried the podcast style. I've tried the short videos. I've tried shorts. I've tried mid-range. I've tried everything in between. And honestly, I can say that for me, my bread and butter content is my 3 to 7 minute video range with the fast cuts and that high energy and that good music. I found a song that works really great for all the content I'm doing, so I'm not going to veer from that. Because it's energizing, and I've tried the satire as well, and I love that. I love the humor. Like, it's a lot of fun, but that's more, I think, where I'm gonna bring that character in for the odd time, and have have a comic relief moment, a 5 or 10 second clip. And so you'll see that in a couple of the videos coming in the next 6 or 8 weeks. I'm not doing it every video. But as far as like the full-on satire, I think that would have to be its own channel, and I don't have time to do a second channel right now. So, but let's see, what else are you guys saying? And John says, Mr. Beast lures you in by piquing your curiosity. Absolutely, he is brilliant at that. He's absolutely brilliant at that. NBL says thumbnails set the tone and titles name the tone. Excellent point, and that's so true. Yeah, it's super, super true. And Tyler says, better get that Under Armour hat out full time. Yeah, I have it in the closet. I could go grab it. Maybe I'll start wearing it, and then no one will point out my hair that's slowly receding. But that's okay. It's all in good fun, right? And I still love you, CJ. And what else have we got here? Spunky says, Tim, listen to your channel. Where do you think I learned that from? From you. Thank you again, Spunky. I appreciate it, man. Very, very much. And let's see. Alexia is saying, check out Hillier Smith. You'll learn a lot. And that's funny because Tyler was telling me about that same person there this week too. Andre's saying, Tim, can you tell us more about how to prepare to do batch recording and editing? Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. Like, I know we're doing a Canva tutorial today as well, guys, and that's obviously a very important part of today's live. But also, I want to answer your questions, right? So Q&A is never a problem. Like, any questions you have, it's always good. Maybe we'll talk for another 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll dive into showing you guys the tutorial. But yeah, as far as batching your content, Andre, it really depends on your niche. If you're in a niche that's difficult, like, for example, I'll use Tyler as an example. Tyler's videos are big projects in and of themselves, big story arc, beginning, middle, end. He's got a ton of trades, a ton of conversations going on with people in the background all the time. It's really hard for him to produce batch content, like, because it's like this trade leads to this trade, leads to that trade, leads to that trade, and you can't plan all that out ahead, especially when every video takes days and days and days to make. So it depends on your niche. Now for me, I can batch content because I have my processes down so well now that I'm able to quickly write and put together videos that are really good, that I write myself. Sometimes I watch other content creators to get some inspiration, but I take everything, all the information I have, and I make it into my own. And what I do is I'll be like, so what I'll do one day, Andre, is I'll say, you know what, I'm going to I'm going to write 6 videos. So I set out, I do my title research ahead of time. I write 6 video titles out that I want to make, and then I essentially write each video out. And I might do that in a 2 or 3 hour span, and I've got 6 videos frameworked out what I want to do. Then I go and get kind of the extras I need for whatever video, whether it's extra screenshots, you can use the snipping tool, you can get photos. One thing I started doing a lot more was using Giphy.com, because you can get the really funny GIFs that match the words that you're saying in the video, so you can match the tone of whatever you're saying and add humor without having to spend tons of time doing research. So I will write everything out for like 6 videos. But you could do this for 2 or 3 videos or whatever you want. And then the next day, I will get myself mentally ready. Hey, I'm going to film today. So then I will film the 6 videos. I'll just one after another, right? I script my stuff out. So I'm basically, a lot of people use teleprompters. I don't have that. So I just basically script it out, and I kind of just tape it right under my camera. And with editing and stuff like that, you'd never know that I was reading from a script because I'm always looking at the camera, right? So I'll film the next day, and then I'll begin my editing process like the next day. And it might take me 2 or 3 days to edit 6 videos. 1 video is not bad. 6 videos is a lot. So it might take me a few days to do that. And then it might take me a couple more days to do the back-end details, your descriptions, your titles, your tags, all your back-end, your uploading and all that stuff into YouTube, right? So in the span of 1 week, I was able to make 6 videos. Now, I release 1 video per week, and I have the live stream, of course. So that's my second video when I do this. But now all of a sudden I've got 6 weeks of content that I made in 1 week, which is amazing because now, Andre, you have time to do other stuff. You have time to research a bigger video, a bigger project. So I hope that helps, for myself, and depends on your niche, like I say, but even if you're in a tougher niche, you could certainly come up with a theme or an idea to make 2 or 3 videos about within a short time, and then you give yourself a bit of that lead time. It takes the pressure off a bit, and then you're able to come back in with a new idea, a bigger idea for another bigger video. So I find that works really, really well for myself. Masked Mage, welcome, my friend. Super happy to see you. Always happy to see you. Mage is a longtime subscriber of mine since almost the very start, so he's saying just go full bald. I thought you wanted me to dye my hair blue, Mage. Now you're telling me to go bald. That's not cool. Oh man, too funny. Let's see what else. Yeah, Tyler's saying love Hillier. Frank, welcome, my friend. Popping in to say good morning. Good morning, my friend. Great to see you. Yeah, Frank's out west here. You and Tyler probably are not that far apart, but great to see you, Frank. I'm really happy to see you, my friend. Frank sent me a copy of a book last week by 𝗕𝗘𝗟𝗟, so I am patiently waiting for that to arrive in the mail. And thank you again, Frank. I can't wait for that to get here. I actually am going to be making a video on a topic revolving around 𝗕𝗘𝗟𝗟s, and that is going to be the video where I give you a special shout out, my friend. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Let's see, what else are you guys saying here? I love reading the chat. It's so much fun. There's so many fun people in here, and let's see. Frank's got to go help out his wife. So that's okay, Frank. Thanks for coming just for a few minutes, and I know you'll grab the replay. You've been here every week, so I appreciate your dedication and time, my friend. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Alexa's saying I love nerds. That's too funny. Tyler, yeah, I hope your channel explodes too, dude. It would be, you definitely would deserve it. Alex, welcome, my friend. It's great to see you. Haven't seen you for a few weeks, my friend, but it's so good to see you today. Really glad you're here. And you guys are hilarious. Let's see. Alexia is saying, I film several things and then organize everything I manage. Maybe I should be doing editing for people. Why not, Alexia? If you're good at editing and if you're comfortable with it and you have other people who want you to do it, you know what? There are always tons of YouTube content creators who want other people to edit for them. And so as you learn your editing skills as you're going in on your journey in YouTube, you can develop your skills to actually be so good that you can definitely sell your services. Now, what I'd say with that is don't let someone kind of strong arm you into doing it for free. There's a lot of people out there who say, oh, I need an editor to edit, 3 videos a week. I can't pay you right now, but at some point I'll do something. Like, it's kind of like I've seen that many times, and it's kind of like they just want someone to do good editing for them, but they don't really have any intention of ever doing anything to reward you for that. So but if you're going to offer editing services, offer it as a service. Charge people. Tell them straight up, I'll edit your video for you, $50, whatever it is, $25. If they say, I want you to edit 8 videos a month, you say, sure, I'll do it for $30 a video. Pay me $250 and we'll call it a day. And that's a good way to make money from YouTube as well. On the side, it's a good side hustle, right? So definitely you could look at doing something like that, Alexia. Let's see. John is saying, I never understood why PewDiePie was such a YouTube monster. I guess some people just take off for whatever reason, John. There's some people have a personality that just tons of people like, and sometimes a person becomes really famous on YouTube as well. And then because they're becoming famous, everybody kind of just jumps on the bandwagon. I personally think PewDiePie is a good YouTuber. I think he's been making content every day for like a decade. So you got to give him credit and props for that. But there are way better content creators than PewDiePie, for sure. Most of his videos are, they're super, he's a super popular, trendy kind of YouTube icon, right? But there are people making way better content than what he produces. There's no question. May just saying use Fiverr. You can get someone from India to edit videos usually for $1. I've personally never used Fiverr. So I'm not, I've been on Fiverr many times, but I always kind of found the services people were selling I thought were a bit sketchy looking, so I never went for anything. You can definitely use Fiverr for a lot of stuff too. Mage is asking, do I ever think about going full bald? No, my friend, I think if I did that, my wife would probably kill me. I'll just stick with what I got. If it gets really bad, maybe I can take a dark marker and I can like color it in or something like that. But CJ's asking, when can I donate money to you? Hey, anytime, CJ. You can send me money anytime. I won't complain. Thank you, my friend. And listen, it doesn't have to be, more than 50,000. That will do just fine. I'm always happy to take money if people want to give it to me. Let's see what else. Yeah, you guys are just having a good conversation here. So how about we kind of start to take a dive into taking a look at Canva here, and we take a little bit of a dive in and see, what I want to do first is the first thing is I want to show you a really kind of bad looking thumbnail. Like we're going to just make a thumbnail and it's not going to look good. And then we're going to kind of change some of the things, and I'm going to show you how to actually make it look a lot better. So let me just grab a sip of water here. So every week I end up with that coughing fit, so let's hope that doesn't happen this week. Okay, guys, let's go take a look at Canva. We're just going to actually jump right over to the browser window here. And first thing we're going to do is we are going to go to canva.com, and I have it saved as just on my save bar here. And you're going to see, the kind of the main screen come up here. And so once you're on canva.com, if you don't have an account already, you can sign up. It is free. And I'm going to tell you some of the things about Canva that you kind of need to know. When you sign up originally, you're going to sign up for an account, and then you're going to have access to all of the free features that come with Canva. Now, you can do what I'm going to show you today for free with Canva. There's just a few workarounds you kind of need to know and do. What I have is I actually have a Canva Pro account, so I paid for a subscription for a full year, and you get a really good savings that way, and it works out to only like about $11 or $12 a month if you do the year in advance payment. So it's actually a really, really good deal because it comes, and this is what I love about Canva, it comes with built-in things that you would need to otherwise do on the side if you're using the free version. And I'm going to kind of explain that as we go. So what you're going to see is you get, you get kind of signed up for your account here. You're on the main screen for Canva. And a lot of these tabs you don't really need to worry about right now. What we're looking at today is creating a YouTube thumbnail. So you have a couple of options for doing that. If you look up in the top right corner here, you can actually click on this button that says custom size. And you can create a template for whatever you want. If you know the size you want to put in, you can punch it in here. And so, for example, we're going to put in 1280 by 720, and that is the size of a YouTube thumbnail. It actually populates right there. If you didn't know that, and let's just say you weren't familiar with the size, but you said, oh, I want to create a YouTube thumbnail, you could actually just go to create a design and type that in, or sorry, click that. And then in the search bar, you can actually just type in YouTube, and you're going to get all of the different YouTube options that come up for things you can create. So if you want to make a channel art, it's 2560 by 1440. If you want to make a display ad, it's 300 by 60. Icons are 800 by 800, but we want to create a YouTube thumbnail. So we're going to go ahead and select the YouTube thumbnail, 1280 by 720. And when we get in, we now have all these options on the left-hand bar of the screen. And we're going to talk about quite a few of these. And you have this blank canvas right here. So as we go here, guys, too, I'll probably take a look at the chat just in case there's any questions people are having as well. So if I do pause for a few seconds, it's mainly just to stay up to date on the chat and make sure if people have questions that I'm trying to answer them as we go here as well. So let's just take a look here. Mage says, I heard Tim prefers donations in duffel bags full of cash. Yep, that is definitely my preferred method. Let's see. And Spunky is asking, can someone explain TubeBuddy or whatever the heck it's called? I keep hearing people say to use it. And actually, Spunky, I am going to go ahead and tell you right now, straight up, I've used TubeBuddy for a couple of years. I have made the switch to vidIQ, and it is like 1,000 times better than TubeBuddy. I know there are a lot of TubeBuddy fans out there, but vidIQ actually has a much bigger audience, and vidIQ's program is way better. I'm actually going to be making a video on vidIQ very, very soon and why you should be using vidIQ. And I'll probably make another video, a second video, as to vidIQ versus TubeBuddy. That's something that was on my mind, and Tyler actually mentioned that to me in the last couple of days. He was like, you should totally do a video now that you have experience with both. And I'm going to explain why vidIQ is way better as well. Not right now because we're going to do this tutorial, but if you want something free to use right now, Spunky, get vidIQ. You will not regret it. The free version does have limited features. The same with TubeBuddy, limited features. You can do basic stuff with both of them, but I find vidIQ is far, far superior and far more accurate than TubeBuddy is. So go get vidIQ, and if anyone ever decides they want to sign up for vidIQ, let me know. I do have an affiliate link, and if you happen to use that affiliate link, then I can get a portion of the proceeds from whatever account you sign up for. And I honestly, for most of us, I think the pro account, which is what I have, I think the pro account is more than enough for what we would need. So yeah, and you know what? Maybe what we'll do, Spunky, is in a couple of weeks, we'll do a live stream that's all about vidIQ and all about TubeBuddy, and we'll talk about the pluses and negatives of both sides and the features of each. And I can show some examples of ranking your videos and coming up with great titles and keyword research. That would actually make a great live. So thanks for the idea. We'll do that in a couple weeks for sure. Alexi is telling Spunky to go see Nick Nimmin or Brian G. Yep, they're two guys that I highly respect and that I really have learned tons from over the years as well. I find for me, I like Brian's mellow style a little bit more. It suits me more because I love Nick too, but Nick is so like fast paced and sometimes you're like, what did he say, and he's already moved on like to 18 things down the line, whereas Brian is a lot kind of more mellow and like slower speaking, and so Absolutely. They're great resources to check out. Another guy, Spunky, you might really like and learn a lot from is Roberto Blake. And Owen Video is another great guy, 𝗕𝗦𝗕𝗦𝗕𝗦𝗕𝗦. So, yeah, those are great resources to check out. And as I'm continuing to work on my content, I'm really hoping that over time, my channel is going to turn into more and more of a valuable resource for a lot of small content creators and new YouTubers as well. Yeah, let's kind of get back here. I don't see any other questions about Canva. So let's kind of get back to on screen here, guys. Sorry, just give me another sip of water. And okay, so what we have here is we have this blank canvas now on the screen. Now, what a lot of people do is they kind of don't really plan out what they want in their thumbnail ahead of time. And so what ends up happening is, you know, you come up with a title, an idea, maybe you're not doing much research into it. Like for months I wasn't, right? And then I was like thinking of things after the fact. Oh, I have to make a thumbnail. Oh, I don't want it to take long. But if you take a few extra minutes and do what I'm going to show you, I'm telling you, like, your thumbnails are going to pop to life. You're going to see such a difference. So the first thing we kind of have here is this blank background. Now, if you select it, you can actually change the color of the background to whatever you want. I have branded colors back from my People Bookkeeper days. So I have my blue and my yellow, which were my branded colors from my website as well. If you see the color on the screen on the camera here change a little bit, it's just a reflection and the bright lights. So you can kind of select, yeah, I'm changing colors. You can kind of select, you know, whatever color you want here, right? So if you decided you wanted to, you know, select like a nice green or something like that, you know, and you said, oh, I like that green, but I really kind of want to tweak it. You can actually click on this little plus up here under document colors, and you can actually choose any kind of shade of green that you want to, right? You can kind of go until you find something that you really like the look of. You can go more pastel colors. You can go brighter, like super bright. You know, there's a lot you can do with it, right? And you can kind of make them darker if you want. Like there's tons of options, right? There's literally like thousands and thousands of shades and colors you can use. So, you know, what I'm going to show you right now is we're going to make a thumbnail which is based around a cooking. I think like a cooking style thumbnail, something that's easy for me to show you, but that can give you some really good ideas as to what you can do. So what a lot of people do, right, is they go, okay, I like this colored background. And then they, you know, over on the left here, if you go into text, you can actually choose from a ton of pre-made texts. Okay, maybe you go, hey, I like the look of this one, but this doesn't really look good at all. This doesn't fit, you know, a cooking thumbnail, right? Like certain styles work really well with certain things, right? So you can select it, and we're just going to click delete. The other option you have is you can put something in, and if you don't like it, up in the top left here, you have an undo button. So you're going to click undo, and you have this blank canvas going. And guys, just ask those questions, save some of those questions for after kind of the tutorial, and then I'll answer some of those questions for sure about vidIQ and stuff. But yeah, so okay, we've got like this blank canvas, right? And then you also have things you can choose, like your elements. Now, elements are all kinds of shapes, colors, all kinds of items, things you would see visually, right? Like let's say you want to have a question mark on, right? So you put the question mark on the screen, right? And it looks pretty basic, but there's a lot you can do to make this look like way better, right? Little tricks you learn as you go through Canva. So we're going to just delete that for now. And so I'm going to kind of show you an example of a bit of a bad thumbnail, and then we're going to look at what we can do to make it better. So what a lot of people do on Canva is they use the kind of Think Media style text boxes. And what I mean by that is they put in kind of a box that's something like, you know, this sort of size here. And, excuse me. And, you know, we'll make that a little smaller. And then we end up with, this box on the screen. And then if you select it and you hit Control C and Control V, you can actually copy paste everything and every element you want to. So, we have these couple of boxes on the screen here now. And now we kind of need to, put in our font. And we also want to have something here visually that makes the thumbnail look better, right? Now, a lot of my thumbnails, you'll see I always have my image over here, right? And I'm going to show you a couple of neat things you guys can do with that as well. We're going to basically, at this point, we're going to click on Uploads. Now, Uploads over here on the left-hand side, I've already preloaded an image I'm going to use. But if you are doing a thumbnail where you need a photo or an image of something, you can just go to Google and Google what you're looking for. And you can take that photo, save it, upload it to Canva, and then I'm going to show you what's a really neat feature with it. So we're going to take this picture of this pan cookie here because this thumbnail, this video and thumbnail is going to be about the world's best cookie, okay? And so if you have the free version of Canva, you won't have this option available, but you can use a tool called, I'm just going to open up another page here. You can use a tool called Remove Background. It's remove.bg. And you can actually take your image, upload it here, and then you can remove the background and you can save it as a new photo, and then you can upload that to Canva. But if we have the pro version of Canva, it comes with background remover built in, which is one of my absolute favorite features. It saves time and it's just an amazing feature. So we select the picture of the cookie and we click on Effects. And we click right at the top here, the feature that's built in is background remover. So we click on that. It takes a few seconds and it will remove this background you're going to see here and just leave you with the image, right? So now we have this really good looking image of just this cookie, and we can we can twist and turn. We can resize it if we want to. We can kind of do whatever we want. And because it's such a good quality image, you can resize it and you can move it around wherever you want, right? Excuse me. You can click undo and go back if you decided you wanted to use this whole picture. But for now, we're going to use the background remover. Sorry, guys, it's that coughing fit that's coming already. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. While that's just doing that, I just want to welcome a couple more people. Abby, welcome, my friend. Great to see you. Really happy you're here. And Suzanne, welcome. Great to have you here as well. Super happy that more people were able to join. And yes, Suzanne, Canva can remove the background. It's one of my favorite features of this pro version. I'm so sorry, guys. Try my best to make it without coughing. I don't know why I always have a coughing fit. Okay. So now we have kind of this image looking like this, right? And now what a lot of people do is they go and select their text, okay? And what I suggest is I never use these pre-done ones because they work for ads and flyers and stuff, but you want to customize it and make it look a lot better, okay? So we're going to go add a heading, and I always just add a heading as my font, and you can change it to whatever you want. So this, for example, is just the generic basic font. What I'm going to suggest for you, because there's literally hundreds and hundreds of fonts to go through, you can like click on them and you can see on the screen how the font changes color, or sorry, changes style, color. You can click different things. You can see what fits, what works, what you like, what you don't like. Find a font that suits your personality and your branding. So choose something that you're going to use consistently in every thumbnail. A mistake I see a lot of people make is in every video they make, that you're using different fonts, different styles, different colors. And it's a huge mistake. Like, different colors is fine because you want it to fit with the theme and color of your thumbnail, but different fonts every video and then small in one video and super giant in another. Like, it's not a good practice, and it's not visually appealing. So pick a font that works for you. Now, for this example, as a cooking channel, my cooking channel with my cookie, I'm going to choose Nexus Script because I like this font. I think it fits well with, you know, what we're going for, the look we're going for here. Okay, so now what a lot of people do, right, is they say, okay, I'm going to now type in the font here. I'm going to put in worlds. Okay, so that's our first word. Okay, they put that up here. Okay, and they line it up. And these little pink dots you see on the screen as well, those are your lining up markers. So you know where things are centered. It's really a nice thing that Canva does. You can line things up nicely that way. And then they say, okay, I'm going to take that, and if we hit Control C and V, we can paste it, and then we can simply change this to best, and we're going to do that in capitals because we want to really emphasize the best. Okay, and then you can take that again, and you can copy and paste, and then you can change this to cookie. Okay, so we're going to select the blue box I have here. We're going to Control C, copy, and Control V, paste. Now, some people kind of go, oh man, I can't get this to work. What's going on? All it is just because you put this after, it's layered it on top. If you have the item selected, you can click position up here, and you can actually move things backwards and forwards as you want to and change the layers of the thumbnail, which is what I'm going to show you as to how you can get some really cool looking effects. So a lot of people do that. They kind of go, okay, and a lot of people don't even center it nicely. They might you know, do something like this, and then that's their thumbnail, and it's like, you know what, like, honestly, this looks really bad. And it's not like, I mean, the color's okay, but it's not good. Like, it's really not. And I see this all the time with people making thumbnails, or it's like ends up being like this, you know, and nothing's properly centered, and you're kind of like looking at it going like, what were they doing? Like, so I'm going to show you some really cool things that you can do to really change this up and make it look amazing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to add like a really cool glowing effect behind the cookie to make it really kind of pop out. So under elements, when we go to elements on the left hand side of the screen here, you can search for anything you want to. You can search for anything you can think of. And let's say you were looking for you know, let's say you were looking for a cookie. You type in cookie, and you're going to get literally hundreds and hundreds of options of images of cookies. Some of them are done in all kinds of different artistic styles. Some of them look really neat. Some of them fit your branding well. Some of them don't. You have to kind of just sift your way through till you find an image that you think really reflects what you want to go for. And you'll notice that it also will say like pro, or it'll say free. So the free ones are more limited for the free version. You get limited options, but if you have the pro account, you can use anything and everything, and you never have to worry about royalties, copyright, nothing. It's all fully included in your Canva Pro subscription. So you can put these in videos, thumbnails, whatever. Again, maybe another day I'll show you how I take some of these things and put them in my own videos, because they add such a cool you know, visual stimulant for people, especially with a sound effect. It's like it keeps people engaged. But we're not looking for a cookie right now. Right now, what we're looking for is actually a glow. And I actually, because I use it in some of my thumbnails and for different things, I actually have it here already. And this is actually a free one. So you could use this to today on the free version if you wanted to kind of create this effect. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this glowing effect and we're going to just drop it on the screen. It doesn't matter where it goes because you're going to be placing it behind the cookie. And we're going to be also creating it to look visually nice. So what you're going to see as well with this particular one, you can see colors up in the top here. So you'll notice you can actually change the colors of the circles in this one. Now, a lot of the elements you can change colors using these boxes at the top. There are some that come pre-done that you can't change. It's just what it is. But I'd say like a good 80% of them have options to change colors. So you can make it fit the color and branding of your thumbnail and your channel a lot more that way if you want to. So let's expand this out, okay, till we're a little bit bigger than this cookie here. And you kind of see maybe it doesn't line up exactly where you want. If that ever happens, and I'm going to show you a trick here, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to position here, and we're going to click on backwards. And now look at that. All of a sudden you see this pan has an amazing glowing effect coming out of it from underneath. Okay, now if you said, oh, I can't get that to line up exactly where I want, press Control, and you can actually move it like, you know, frame by frame and have way more control over it. So now you can kind of create this look however you want, right? Now let's say you decided you wanted to try to do a bit of a different color. You can click on blue. You can try different shades, different hues. You could try yellow. Yellow makes it pop out even more. It's kind of got this like yellowy orange look now, right? Say you decided I'm really happy with that. I love the way that looks. If you click in the empty space and drag across both elements, and then click up here on the top right on group, now you have this thing that you can move around wherever you want and everything stays together. And if you resize it, everything gets resized. If you go bigger, everything is bigger. You don't have to do each element individually now. So you go, okay, I love the way this looks, but I want to make my background look better. This has a really cool glowing effect. How do I make my green background kind of pop out a little bit more and make it better? So the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to click on backgrounds over on the left-hand bar here, and we are going to look at all the different tabs you have. You can use lots of different stuff, right? There's all kinds of stuff with food, abstract, textures, whatever. One thing I like to use every once in a while, I don't do it on most thumbnails, but every once in a while I will come and use a gradient, and the gradients are really cool because you can do a lot with it. So I like the way this kind of green color looks, right? So I'm going to actually select that, and now we have a really cool looking gradient color in the background that looks a lot better than what we had. Okay, now you can also select the background and select the color box at the top, and you can change the gradient colors that you have. So it stays kind of the green color is the main color, but you can change this color to match whatever you want. You could try yellow. I actually think the yellow looks great with that. You can try red. Red and green, this almost has kind of a Christmassy look. Maybe this is a thumbnail style background that you want to use for like a Christmas video, right? It looks really, really good. You can try other shades of green. You've got blues, you've got dark greens, you've got all kinds of stuff you can do. For this thumbnail, I'm going to choose the yellow because I like the way that yellow looks. And I kind of want to make this pop out just a little more. So I'm going to select the cookie again. And because it's grouped, it will let me change the colors again. And I kind of want to make something that pops out a little bit more against that yellow rather than having that yellow part. So you can just test out the different colors till you come up with something that you think looks really good. Actually, I kind of like that. I kind of like that teal color that blends nicely with the green and yellow there, and it has that kind of orange hue as well. So I like the way that looks, right? And you can change the angle of this. Like you can put it kind of however you want to, right? Now, your thumbnail is starting to look way better, but we can still do a lot with the words to make the words look really good, right? And so I'd highly recommend getting rid of the background text boxes. That's how I originally did my thumbnails when I started, and they were okay, but like it's a 10-year ago look, and now there's so much you can do that it really, you know, it isn't necessary to have those text boxes. I know that you'll see tutorials that tell you to do it, but it's not a very good way to make your thumbnail look really good. So we're actually just going to go ahead and select them, and we're going to actually just delete them. And now we're kind of left with the different text here. And some people will do thumbnails like that, and then you'll see a lot of people who do thumbnails with just like the text like that, you know, or a different font, but they don't do anything with this. And it looks okay. I mean, it doesn't look terrible. The background is beautiful. The gradient look, the cookie looks amazing now that we have that glowing effect. But there's a lot more that we can do with the title. So we're just going to hop into the chat here quickly for a minute, and then we'll get back to the title. I just want to see if you guys have had any questions. And Cody, hey, great to see you, my friend. Really glad you're here. Cody, did I ever make a thumbnail for you? I can't remember. I know I made thumbnails for different people, and I'm not sure if you were on the list or not. But Croissant, great to see you, my friend. There he is, finally made it over. Got a plate of croissants. Yeah, Lord Croissant has been a subscriber of mine for a long time and always interacted really amazing as well. So thank you for being here, man. It's great to see you. Kiss me like you do. Oh, it's 𝗦𝗦𝗕𝗦𝗦. Great to see you, 𝗦𝗦𝗕𝗦𝗦. I'm glad you're here. I really appreciate you being able to come. Is this a new channel that you have as well? That's great. Cody, my day is going great, my friend. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's awesome to see you guys. Isabel, oh, it's so good to see you. You're finally getting to stop by a live stream event, even if it's just for a while. Thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time. It means a ton to me. It's wonderful to see you for sure. It's wonderful to have everybody here. Cody saying you helped me find Canva. That's awesome, dude. I'm really glad. I love Canva. It's amazing. Tyler saying the gradient look is really cool, and I agree. And in a minute, we're going to go back in, and I'm going to show you the title, how we can make that look awesome. And then you're going to end up with this thumbnail that all of a sudden looks really good. And I'm going to show you a couple of other things I do to make things look really good. And again, start applying these to your own thumbnails, and like you're going to have thumbnails that come to life. Like, study Mr. Beast, study the people doing amazing thumbnails, and follow these tips, because I learned all this from watching other content creators and going and then practicing it myself. They didn't tell me how to do it. I just kind of went and figured it out, but I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. And Abby is saying he loves using the comic backgrounds that I told him about. Yeah, and I use those for my own because my channel is YouTube content and help, obviously, advice. But I'm a bit of a nerd and a gamer, so my branding is built around that. It's an expression of me as well. So I'd suggest putting yourself into your channel and into your design as well. I agree for sure, Tyler. The gradient look is really neat. And I don't use it in every thumbnail. I just use it sometimes, but it's fun to do once in a while. You can really create some neat looking stuff. Let's see. And I know you can't make it sometimes, Isabel. That's okay. It's always, for anyone coming in watching, the live stream is always Sunday at 1 p.m. Atlantic time. The time isn't going to change. So if for some reason I'm not live streaming that week or something happens, I won't live stream. I won't change the time on people because I want everybody to be used to the time to happen. So, but that being said, I want this to be a constant thing. Even when I get to my hours for monetization, which hopefully is coming in the next 2 to 3 months, I'm going to continue live streaming because I think it's such a benefit for the community, and I love hanging out with all you guys. It's really precious to me. So, okay, great. If you guys have any questions, just hold them till the end here. We'll probably wrap the title and everything here in the next 15 or 20 minutes, and then we'll do another 10 minutes or so of Q&A. And it's amazing, but that'll already be like an hour and a half gone. I feel like these live streams are 5 minutes long and we're done. So let's jump back into the screen here, guys, and we're gonna basically make this title look awesome, and then I'm gonna show you a couple of other really neat effects. So we have now this title here, which is a good title, World's Best Cookie. And keep in mind, you'd want your title on your video to match, right? So you'd want to come up with something really intriguing and clickbaity, right? And I won't tell you what that is today. I have examples of things you can do in videos that are coming as well. So, this is where a lot of people would stop and say, okay, I'm done my thumbnail. First of all, the font's way too small. People can't really see it very well. It doesn't stand out very well, right? And so I'm going to show you some kind of tricks of the trade here, some trade secrets as to how you can make this look really amazing. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to select on worlds, the first word, okay? And we are going to make this font way bigger. So select the font up here, the font size. And usually I go anywhere between, depending on how much is in the thumbnail, between 90 to 120. But we'll start with 104. And we can always up or downsize from there. It's very easy to do. And we're going to do the same with best here. We're going to make this into font size 104. And we're going to make cookie 104. And one thing I like to do as well is when I have a word that is especially emphasized in something, sometimes I will make that word bigger. So you'll see that in a lot of my thumbnails. I'll have a font size on 3 of the words, but like the super emphasized word like best or, you know, amazing or growth or now, like power words, I'll make those bigger. So we could actually do that with best here, and we could actually make best a little bit bigger. Let's go 120 on best. And so it just pops out a little bit more and emphasizes that it really is the best cookie in the world. Okay, so now it looks better because now our font is at least readable in the thumbnail. If you're able to, depending on your niche, if you're able to create thumbnails that have as few words as possible or no words at all, then that's a really good way to go. Sometimes people put way too much font and text in their thumbnails, and it's so over the top, it detracts from what you're trying to say or share. Now, you could leave the words out of this and do a couple of other things I'm going to show you and make this bigger and put it in the middle, and you could actually have an amazing looking thumbnail like that alone. And you could have a title that was literally world's best cookie, and in brackets like you won't believe how it tastes. And then you created this really clickbaity title, and you have a thumbnail that people are like, whoa, what is this? That looks incredible, right? But for this purpose, because I want to show you how to do font really well, we're doing this. Maybe another day I'll do another quick tutorial on how to create an image for a thumbnail without words and make that look really cool. But we're going to take worlds, and depending on the background color, that's going to be how you choose your font color. So we're going to select the font color up here, and you know, obviously they're going to be colors that show up on green, kind of greeny yellow really well. Yellow is going to be terrible. Yellow is one of the worst colors to do on a lot of different types of backgrounds if you're not putting in any kind of outline. But what I'm going to show you today can make it work well with things. But yellow doesn't show up on this well. Red doesn't really feel like the theme I want to go for. It doesn't really feel like the branding color I want to go for here, because, you know, red would be great if you were doing like a Christmas cookie or something, but we're not doing that. You know, black can work well, but black is not the best color text to have in your thumbnails. You can do a lot better with like blues, greens, white, and white is actually what I'm going to select. Even though you might look at it right now and think, well, it doesn't look that good, I don't see it very well, I'm going to show you what we're going to do, and we're going to make it look awesome. Okay, so that in itself, right now, if you left it, obviously it doesn't look incredibly good, but what we're going to do is we're going to make this pop out amazingly. So CJ, I hope you're paying attention, my friend, because this is how you are going to be able to create thumbnails that are going to really start to set your channel apart and help you. So we're going to select world, and we are going to click up at the top on effects. Now there's a lot of different effects and fonts and things you can do here. There's a lot of different effects. You can put a little bit of a shadow in behind. You can choose kind of different things that let you try different things. You can try splicing. You have neon, which kind of makes the letters glow. The only one that I use for me personally, for my branding, is the shadow at the top here. Okay. Now, at first you look at it and you go, okay, there's kind of a white shadow in behind. You don't see it very well here. But here's a little trick. We have it our color. It's initially selected as white. We're going to change the color of the background of the letter to black. So immediately you see it already looks better, okay? But what we're going to do is we're going to take the transparency and we're going to put that all the way up to 100. And look what happened. Now you have this awesome black outline around your letters, your word, that immediately look better. Like just look at worlds compared to best and cookie. Like now, wow, this looks pretty good. But how can we make this even better? I'm glad you asked. We're going to select it. We are going to Control-C, copy, and then Control-V, we are going to paste, okay? Now, we are going to take this, and we are going to click on Effects again, and we are now going to turn the blur up to 100. So now that black solid outline sets the tone for the very background of the whole word, but the blur makes it have a shadowed look. Okay, so we are going to take that and we're going to layer it right on top, right? So that looks a lot better. But what I do for my thumbnails is I actually always do about 5 layers, and you're going to see what happens here. So we have our first layer. We're going to Control-C and we're going to Control-V paste. We have our second layer. We have our third layer. We have our fourth layer. We have our fifth layer. And now look how amazing that looks with the shadow in behind, and the words pop, or the letters pop out and the word pops out because you have this amazing black dark outline originally and the shadow to go with it. So now all of a sudden your word looks really good. Okay, we're going to drag and select that, and we're going to click on group so that if you want to resize it, you can resize it and it resizes everything, not just the top layer. Okay, so we're going to do that formula with the second one here. Same thing. We're going to click on Effects. We're going to click on Shadow. We're going to put transparency up to 100, and we're going to change the color of the background to black. Okay, then we're going to copy paste, and we're going to click on Effects, and we're going to put the blur to 100. And we've got our first layer, okay, and we're going to put our second layer, third layer, fourth layer, fifth layer, okay. Move that down a little so that we can then select, we can select this and group this. And repeat it down here as well. Now, when you get kind of good at doing this, you can actually create your framework on one and just copy paste it and change the words. It makes it a little bit faster. But for now, just getting used to it, do it this way. Select cookie, click on Effects. We're going to click on Shadow. We're going to put transparency up. We're going to change the color again to black. And you can test out different background colors and these glowing effect colors. Like you can do reds, oranges, blues, greens. Like just test stuff out. Honestly, there's no right way to do it. Like it's sometimes like your background might look better, not with the black, but maybe you have a background and red looks perfect with it, or yellow looks perfect with it. Just test things out, right? That's the best thing I can suggest. And showing you guys this stuff today, you can go in and practice this stuff yourself. Like and there's no reason you can't go practice this stuff today and come up with a thumbnail style for your channel that you're like, oh, this is amazing, I love it. Okay, so we have selected cookie. We have our outline. We're going to go back into, we are actually going to copy paste that, and then we're going to click on Effects, and we're going to put the blur up to 100 again, and we've put our first blur layer on top. We're going to copy paste it. That's the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. And you can test it out. You could try putting 6 or 7 or 8 layers. I find for me 5 works the best. I think sometimes it gets a bit too thick with the shadow if you do 7 or 8 layers. 1 or 2 layers looks nice, but it's not quite. I tested out a lot, and 5 was the number I settled on for me. So again, we're going to group that together. And the reason I always do, I didn't mention it, but the reason I always do the words separately rather than putting all the text in one box is because you can then space things out and put those words wherever you want to. Like you could do something like that if you want to. Whereas if it's all in the same box, you move it on the screen, you can't place the words where you want them. Okay? So how can we make this thumbnail look even better? And we're going to come back in a minute. I just want to catch up on the chat and just see, if there's any questions or anything like that. Let's see. And John is saying if the title is how to do drywall, the text in the thumbnail should be something like the right way or the best way or the easy way. Yeah, absolutely, John. For sure. You could put something exactly. The title and your thumbnail they work in tandem. So they should support each other. So if you're saying something in your thumbnail, it should direct people to the title and make it intriguing. One mistake I see a lot of people make too is they take the title and they put the title in the thumbnail. You should never do that because each one is an opportunity to create intrigue and drive people. And if you do both really well, you will get a lot more clicks and a lot more views. And the other thing to remember is your content has to be really good. The content quality has to match. If you have thumbnails like this and titles that are amazing, but people come in and the video itself is not very good, or it's not engaging, or it's boring for people, they're going to click away fast and it's not going to help you. It'll actually hurt your channel. So you have to have, or if you have amazing content, but your thumbnails are terrible and your titles aren't very good, people are not going to come in and watch. And that's what happened to me. I did terrible job for months with my titles and thumbnails, and the quality of the video was great and the audio was great, but people weren't watching because I didn't do my proper research, right? So that's a great point you shared there, John. And let's see. Yeah, you guys are saying great tricks. Tyler's saying try Control D. What does Control D do? I don't remember, Tyler. What is this going to blow things up? No, it's not doing anything. Oh, Control D? That's weird. It pasted the whole thing. Well, you learn something new every day. Thank you, Tyler. You are awesome, dude. We'll just undo that because I don't need another cookie, but that's really cool. I didn't know that. So thank you, Tyler. See, we all learn stuff as we go and we support and help each other. That's awesome. Let's see. Isabel's got to get going. That's fine. She's going to watch the rest later. Thank you so much for coming, Isabel. Really appreciate it. AJ, great to see you, my friend. He's saying hello, Tim, the YouTube guru. Really great to see you, my friend. SK's Adventures, great to see you here, my friend. Really glad you can make it too. It's funny, like how many people come in and then can't stay, and I'm like, if we could get everybody like all together at one time. I've actually tallied up like about 100 different people in the live streams over the last 6 weeks. Wouldn't it be amazing if there were like 100 people in here? That would be incredible. One thing I forgot to say near the start was if you guys have a chance or have the time each week when you come to the live, if you don't mind sharing it out with people, social media and stuff as well, sending links out or messages out just to help other people know that they can come tune in as well. That's always muchly appreciated, and we can help more people, right? So yeah, I want to show you guys something else that we're going to do here with the thumbnail and make it look really good just to wrap up. So one thing I'm testing out in my current thumbnails is I'm starting to do really neat kind of thumbnails. Some of them are going to have like an image and create a really mysterious, intriguing look, a la Mr. Beast. I've been really inspired by his stuff, and I'm trying to create some thumbnails and test things out, but they're really good thumbnails. So we're not talking like some bad looking thumbnail. Like, I'm making really neat stuff with glowing effects that kind of morph and transition into each other with just a picture or a picture of me or something that's perplexing. And it maybe doesn't work on every single one of my videos, but I think once in a while a thumbnail like that is a really good thing to try out. And so I'd highly recommend that you guys all test this stuff out in the next couple weeks when you're making videos. Try it out and see, does it get me more clicks? If my thumbnail this last week has been one of my best in a long time. This video has been my best performing one in a very long time. It's got more views than videos from 3-4 months ago because I put a lot of effort into the content and into the thumbnail and the title. And so the thumbnail is actually, believe it or not, most of the time what happens is your thumbnail starts here. Maybe it's at 8%, 10%, 7%, whatever, 12%, and then it goes down over time. This thumbnail for me this last week started at 8% the first day, and then it has actually progressively climbed. So it's actually up to almost 10.5% now, and it's doing really, really, really well. And you know, so it pays to take time to make good thumbnails. So let's jump kind of back right over into the last part. I want to show you what I want to show you here, guys, so that you can really start to put this stuff into practice. All right. And I like to kind of have behind me in most of my thumbnails, I don't know if you've noticed, but I always have kind of a glow around the outline of me. And I'm going to show you exactly how to create that effect. We're going to go over to uploads. Okay. And uploads here, I have uploaded a lot of photos of me from when I took pictures in different clothing quite a while back, and I use a lot of these for my thumbnails. There's always something that I can match to the theme or feel of that video. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I am going to take this one here, and I'm going to just drop it in here. And because I have the pro version, obviously this looks bad right now, but because I have the pro version, we just click on effects and we click on background remover, and this is going to remove that background again. And once the background is removed, you just see this picture of me. And this is how I do a lot of my thumbnails. I end up putting me over kind of in the corner, and you make them bigger. And what I end up doing, usually I have like my lightning bolt separator. That's kind of something I came up with because I wanted to have a separation, so it works for my branding really well. But you can actually take these photos of yourself and you can turn them into some pretty cool looking things. So my favorite feature to use is take your picture, okay, and we're going to click on adjust. No, I'm sorry. The first thing we're going to do is click on effects. Okay, so we remove the background. We've gone back into effects again, and we have a tab called duotone. And this is a really, really, really cool thing. This is how I create a lot of my glowing effects behind myself and on my thumbnails, kind of around the sides and stuff that you see a lot. Okay, so we want to kind of match kind of the color scheme, this nice yellowish green, orange, kind of a little bit of blue hue here around the pan. So I'm going to select on the amber color here. And this is kind of a yellowy orange color, but you can see any of these colors are going to match up to something like that. So this will give you green, blue, violet, kind of red, pinks. But I'm going to choose the amber color one. And you're going to notice immediately it changes my image to this color. Okay. So now, right now, it doesn't look that good. Obviously, this would look stupid if it was on the thumbnail, right? So we are going to click on adjust. Now, you have a bunch of features that you can really do some neat stuff here. So we have my image, and we are going to turn the blur up to 100. And guess what? Now all of a sudden you have this really cool glowing look. Wow, that's neat looking, right? So what can we do with that? Well, we can tinker around with the other settings with the brightness. Now it changes it into a white glow, or we can go darker and it's kind of a blackish glow. We can leave it where it was at. We can change the contrast so that you see the colors morph. Maybe you want to put it near the top and you're like, oh, I kind of like the orange and yellow. You can change the saturation. Okay, you can go up or down on that, and you can get these different hues and different colors and shades. Okay, maybe you'll want to put it up a little. You can change the tints a little bit. And now you have this really awesome looking glow here, okay? So what do we do with this? Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on position, and we're going to make sure that it's the very background of the whole thumbnail, because you don't want it over top of something. If you put it here and you click forward, it's now on top and it looks really bad. So we are going to click backwards till it's at the very back. And now we are going to stretch out kind of the lines here a little bit. And we are going to simply offset this a little bit off of the thumbnail itself. And you can, of course, change the positioning of this. You can tilt things, you can angle things, and you can do this with any photo of yourself. You can morph it into these really cool looking glows, right? Maybe you want to highlight kind of the best in the middle there, right? Maybe you want to move it over. It's totally your call, right? You can stretch this line out here, and you can say, hey, I kind of really like the way this looks like this, or maybe you want to have it over at the side. But watch what we're going to do. We're going to kind of take this, and we are going to copy that, and we're going to paste it. And now we have another one that we're going to put backwards in position till it's on the bottom again. And now you have another kind of glowing effect that you can kind of move around wherever you want to, okay? So you kind of create this really neat looking glow effect, okay? Maybe you decide you want to kind of just put it in behind like this, and you kind of like the way it looks like that. It does look pretty neat, right? Maybe you decide you don't like such a pronounced orange up there, and you decide you want to adjust it. Maybe you want to drop the saturation down. Maybe you want to drop the contrast down a bit, and you want to kind of have it be more of just an overall mellow kind of look to it, right? So now you can simply copy and paste that again, and maybe you decide you want to put this over here. You're going to put this in the backwards position, and now you've got another really neat looking glow effect, okay? So this is something you can definitely test out and tweak and try. Maybe you go, hey, I don't like this green space in here. I want to kind of put something in here. We put this backwards, and now all of a sudden you have this, again, this neat look. You can select the different elements. You can move things around. You can just tinker with it and test things out. That's what I would say. I do that a lot in my thumbnails, and I move things around. You can turn the angles and put these along the top if you want. I personally really like the morphed glowing effects and layers, because you can really have a color kind of at the top that looks really nice, and then like a middle kind of morphed color, and then your bottom kind of morphed color. And you don't have to put in that, but you can use this to create a glowing effect around certain words, certain things, and it just makes your thumbnails pop out even better and look even more exciting. So now all of a sudden, we've got this really cool looking thumbnail. We can then say, okay, I want to line up my text here. You can, if you hit Control, you can actually go like frame by frame versus just Canva placing it. So you can kind of line it up till you see the pink line in the middle, and then you can kind of line up your cookie font till you see it kind of line up. And let's see here. It's not doing it for me for some reason. Let's make that a little smaller like that. There we go. Okay. So we go, okay, the placement on everything is really good. And you go, but you know what? I would like to make it a little bit bigger. You know what? You can select everything, or you can select just certain elements. We're going to select the font here, if it will work for me. Sometimes I have a few glitches with Firefox. And there we go. Okay. So we're going to select that, and maybe we want to make worlds, a size like 115. Okay, we can do that. And maybe we want to make best, 130, and we want to make cookie, 115 as well to match the top. So again, like there's a lot you can do, and you can kind of decide, to tinker around with where you want to place the fonts. One thing I would highly suggest is, as well as, I only did it this way for the example, but normally I would put my titles in all caps. But it's totally your call. Like if your branding is not all capitals, that's fine too. I like it in all caps because it really does make it stand out a lot better on your thumbnail. And so there you have it, guys. It's now we've taken that initial really bad looking thumbnail and we made something that looks pretty cool. You know, again, you can tinker around with these colors. You can change things. You can test things out. Maybe you don't like the green gradient. Maybe you go, I want to change it to something totally different. So test it out. Try different things. Try different colored fonts. If you go, I wonder what another color looks like, select it, and instead of white, choose another color, okay? Yellow, actually, with the black background, yellow doesn't look that bad, right? Black looks pretty bad because you see the outline is not a good color. Red, it looks okay, you know, but teal kind of looks nice. The darker teal pops out. The pink looks really nice. You know, test things out. Try different things out. See what works for you. And once you've figured out a font that fits your style and your personality, and you've practiced this a few times, you're going to start creating thumbnails that are like way better than what you've produced now. And, you know, I am going to have also coming soon a couple of videos on Canva. I'm going to do one on a lot of the features that I couldn't really go into today. And I'm going to do another video that's going to be a tutorial, really fast-paced and fun, but directing you exactly what to do and where to go and things you can use. But definitely I'm going to have a couple more really good Canva videos coming. So don't stress out if you don't know, you know, how to you know, or if you don't remember, or you're like, you know, if you need help or whatever, just reach out to me. I'm always happy to answer questions. So that's really the tutorial, guys. If you want another one of these in the future, let me know. If you want a tutorial, live tutorial of vidIQ, of things like that, let me know. I know there were a couple of questions that people had. I think Spunky had asked vidIQ how much it costs. So for the pro version, Spunky, it's $90 for the whole year, which is an amazing price for the amount of features it gives you. I think TubeBuddy is around the same price, but my own personal experience after using TubeBuddy for a long time is I would go with vidIQ any day of the week. There's a lot of nice people at TubeBuddy. I watch Rob Balasabas, and he's a really nice guy who works for TubeBuddy. There's a lot of people who support and promote TubeBuddy, but for me, I think vidIQ is the way to go, and I'm going to dive a lot more into that. Maybe we'll do that in a couple of weeks, or next week if you guys want that. We'll do a live vidIQ tutorial and review, and the features that I'm using in it, and how it's really helping me craft content and titles and thumbnails and everything now that are there's features in it that are so cool. And you can do a lot with the free version too, but again, like, I highly recommend if you really want to take your content and everything to the next level, the pro version. And if you are interested in that, please let me know, because if you do click my affiliate link and you do end up deciding to get the program, it will give a small portion of the sale back to me. Which would be great, you know, because I don't make any money doing YouTube, but I love it, right? And I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it for the love of helping people. And all of you guys are amazing people, and I'm really grateful to have you all here. Let's take a look at a few of the questions here as we kind of wind down. Yeah, SK is saying it's hard to grow live shows. Yeah, it's not easy. I remember listening to Rob from vidIQ, and he was saying years ago when they first started doing their live streams, most weeks they'd get like 30 or 40 people. You know, and that would have then been live channel reviews, and then in the regular stream they'd only get 20 or 30 people. Now, of course, they've been doing it for years, and they get like crazy amounts of people. I've been in there at times where they got like 800 or 1,000 people in their Tuesday live stream for channel reviews. Getting your channel reviewed is like winning the lottery. And so and their Wednesday live stream, they always do like tutorials and discussion and other things, and those don't have as many people because a lot of people want those free channel reviews, but there's still usually hundreds of people in there. Great resource, vidIQ. There's tons of stuff to help you grow your channel too. So yeah, but it's not easy. I mean, we're about 6 weeks in now, doing a live stream every week here, and I'm pretty happy with the numbers that have come in and the people here. There's been a lot of different people in, just not all at the same time, but I know I do have a lot of people who also come back in and watch after, so that means a lot as well. And those watch hours are really helping. This live streaming has been amazing for me to start to really grow my channel more, and it is making a difference, and it's helping me get towards monetization, which is awesome. Cody had to leave. Thanks for coming, dude. Really appreciate it. CJ is going to rewatch. That's awesome, CJ. I hope as you practice it a few times, my friend, I hope this will help you really start to create some really cool looking thumbnails and spend a few hours and come up with a theme, a style for your channel that you think really it matches you and your personality, and that would be fantastic. Susie, welcome. I'm so glad to see you here. Really glad you can make it. And we're kind of unfortunately wrapping things up here in a couple minutes, but if you can make any week, Susie, we always do live streaming Sundays at 1 p.m. Atlantic. And for anyone else who wasn't sure, 1 p.m. Atlantic on Sundays. Always happy to see people here. Thank you for coming, Susie. I really appreciate it. Yeah, and I've been getting a lot of comments from people too who are saying they haven't tried live streaming, and people who want me to make a video on how to do it. And it's really not that complicated. I know before I first did it, in my head I was like, oh, this is going to be so challenging. How am I going to do this? I've never done it, and it's kind of a bit nerve-wracking. But once you kind of get your background elements together, and once you start to get an understanding of what you need to do, it's really not that bad. And you may be the first one or two a little nervous because you're used to being on camera, but maybe not used to speaking live to people. But the beautiful thing about live streams, Susie, and for anyone else interested in doing this, is it doesn't matter if you mess up. Like every week I have a coughing fit for like 20 seconds. It doesn't matter if you stumble on your words. It's all raw and unedited and as you go. And so the direction of these is shaped by the content, the questions of what people are asking. So, don't stress. Like if you're worried about live streaming, don't stress. And I am going to make a video on setting up a really good live stream that would be exactly a replica of what I do. And that being said, you may have different gear, but you can apply a lot of the same principles to setting up your stuff that way as well. So don't stress about that. Alexi is saying just do lives for fun and it will grow itself. If you have a great attitude, the rest will follow. And that's so true. 100%. And Alexia started live streaming a few weeks ago as well, and I'm hoping that this inspired you, Alexia, and I know you've been having a lot of fun with it. CJ said, Tim, when I have $150,000, I'll send it to you. Dude, if you do that, thank you. And Tyler's saying, if everyone here let Tim's video play through, we can get it monetized. Yeah, it's funny. Like, if I had literally 1,000 people show up and I did a 4-hour live stream, or even a 2-hour live stream, I would be at my monetization. So my trend has been really on the up over the last little while, and I have, Tyler's been a big help for me with helping me, and his advice and thoughts on things. Like, it's really helped me see things in a new light as well, because he's my friend, but he's also a viewer, a consumer of my content. So if I'm making stuff and he's coming, and one thing I love about Tyler, that if any of you want someone who's brutally honest about stuff, like in a good way, he's always very nice, but if you want brutal honesty, Tyler's your guy. And if he's telling me that my content now is like way better and he loves it and it's much better, then I really am paying attention to that. Because if it wasn't, he would tell me like, dude, that wasn't good, or I didn't like that, or whatever. And then I need that as a content creator. I don't just want to always hear, oh, I loved it, it was great, it was good. I need to hear, I didn't like this, I thought you could have done that better. why haven't you been doing this? Why didn't you do that? Like 𝗕𝗦𝗦𝗕𝗘 said to me a couple weeks ago in a short video I released, why are you doing all these short videos and not releasing like long content or longer content? And I was like, ooh, yeah, like, so I need that, right? So thank you guys. I really do appreciate it very much. And yeah, I am really grateful to, yeah, and I do use OBS, and the tutorial that I make is going to be on OBS, and exactly the setup I have. I'm going to have really good B-roll shots, photos and pictures and things, arrows pointing at things and telling you exactly where to plug things in and what to do and how to set up your stream. Because like you see on the screen, you know, my live stream has kind of the frame around it with the lights and the words, right? Well, I created all that in OBS, and it's pretty easy to do. And you can, you know, and I can, in the tutorial that I make, I'm going to list resources and links of where you can get things and how you can create a lot of these neat things for yourself too. So yeah, guys, it's that time of week again. I can't believe it's been like an hour and 40 minutes. I feel like we could talk for another 2 hours, but things to do, and I know we all have places to go and things to do. I want to say thank you so much to each and every one of you for coming, for the amazing questions, the amazing thoughts that you have, and for supporting each other, because this community has always been about networking with people in a genuine way and helping each other grow. It really means a lot to me to see each and every single one of you come in. I know I've seen some of you in way bigger live streams as well. You know, I've seen Susie, I think you were in Brian's live stream a couple nights ago. I was there too. And, you know, the fact that you come to mine, like, means a ton to me. You know, and I know I've seen a number of you in other live streams before too. And, you know, it really does make my day and brighten my day to get to see all you guys. So thank you as well, John. Peace to you, my friend. Hope you all have a wonderful day, rest of the day, and a wonderful week. AJ, enjoy your day, my friend. Alexia, great to see you. Always amazing to see you. Susie, thank you so much. Tyler, SK, really glad you could make it, my friend. Tyler, thank you so much, dude. Your friendship means a ton to me. And CJ, your friendship as well. Cody, let's see who else was here. John Disk, thank you so much for coming. Abby, thank you for coming. 𝗕𝗦𝗦𝗕𝗘, thank you for coming. I just like to not miss anyone. Suzanne, really great to see you too. I'm really glad you can make it. Spunky, thank you so much, dude, for all your amazing comments and kind words before too. It means a ton. NBL, amazing to see you, dude. Thank you so much for coming. Your commenting and your engagement and your friendship means a lot to me as well. And Masked Mage, dude, thanks for coming and suggesting I shave my head. Mage is a good guy. I really appreciate seeing you, man. So yeah, thank you to everyone. Alex and oh boy, you guys are great. Andre, thank you for coming, dude. I really appreciate it. Great to see you, my friend. Really appreciate all the engagement. And Lauren, thank you so much for coming. Really was nice to see you too. CEO Harish, great to see you, my friend. And everyone and anyone who can make it. Jeff, and you know, BLT. Really, really grateful and glad that you guys could all make it. So thank you so much for taking the time. And Susie's just saying about Brian G. He said he'll try on Fridays. Yeah, he used to do live streaming a lot more frequently, and then over the last while, he has not done much of anything. Oh, Liko Moon, you made it just in time for the end. Perhaps you can watch the replay. Great to see you made it, even at the end. I do appreciate it very much. Thank you. And that's okay that you were late, no problem. But yeah, I've seen Brian do a couple more of them recently, Susie, and it's nice. It's nice to sit and listen. He's an amazing speaker and amazing content creator, and really talented at what he does, and you know, and yeah, it's great. So thank you so much, guys. I am really grateful that you all can make it. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Have an amazing week of creating content. I'll see you Wednesday with an amazing video. I can't wait for you guys to see. I'm super excited about that, so make sure you tune into that. And next Sunday, we're going to do a live stream. And let me know in the comments after this. Come back into the comment section after and let me know if you want to see vidIQ next week, a tutorial of vidIQ, or you want to see a tutorial of something else, or what topics you guys want to talk about in the coming weeks. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for all the amazing questions and engagement, and blessings to each of you. And I will see you guys all very soon.